All right, I'm going to quickly show you how to have an accessory that has spring bones attached to it so it wiggle wobbles, as well as allowing it to trigger with expressions. We're just going to have another copy of my ears on here. I'm going to link them to my head just like you do any accessory. I'm going to quickly position them. Doesn't have to be perfect because I'm just quickly showing you what's going on. Something that is important in order for the spring bone to work. Normally you would put your spring bone here in secondary. We can't do that with here because we're going to be toggling the spring bone off. So we're going to have to add it to the ear itself. I'm going to quickly add the root bone sizes 2. I'm quickly going to add my root bones, which right here. There we go. And for my stiffness, I'm going to do about 3. So now we need to make a new animation. I already have an ears animation, and for them appearing in, I have an angry and a happy. But we're going to make an entirely new one here. I'm going to call it ears test. There we go. So something very important, whichever bone that you want to animate, I think I'm going to go with these ones here. I'm not going to do a complex animation, but whenever you're doing an animation for this, you are going to want to get a baseline. So I'm going to hit that record button. And to get a baseline, let me move in here. Get a baseline, I'm going to have to adjust something. So I know for me, I'm just doing rotation. If you're doing position or scale, you're going to want to get the baseline for that. For this bone here, it's all 0, so I might... No, I do want this bone. So I'm going to up this to 1. And I'm going to put it back to 0. I'm going to up all of these to 1 and put them back to 0. And what that does is that gives us a baseline keyframe. So as you can see, we have a keyframe here. If we expand this, we have a keyframe for all of the rotation for this bone. So now if I, let's do the other one first before I get ahead of myself. So I'm going to change these all to 1. And as you can see, we got the rotation in there for them. I'm going to change it all back to 0. So now as a baseline, when we start this animation, they will be perfectly straight. The other thing I'm going to do before we move keyframes is I'm going to go ahead and turn this guy off. As you can see, that marks it as off for the animation. So now I'm going to move forward. We're going to do a short animation, so about 30 frames, so it'll be relatively quick. And then I'm just going to rotate the bones because I already have them set in here. What I could do is I could grab the numbers and paste them in here. And as you can see, it's not doing exactly what I want, and that's because these values have to be negative. Because it's on the other side. So now I got my animation. Just spins in quickly. I'm going to go ahead and turn off my animation tab. We're going to make sure that our VRM spring bone is set. Well, let me turn off preview. Yep, it's set. We're going to go over here to the ears test animation controller that we made. We're going to turn off loop time. If you have loop time on, that causes it to repeat constantly. That might be what you're looking for, but that's not what I'm looking for in this case. Now, we need to add a VSF animation. This will only work with VSF avatars. But we're going to go down here, and I've already got this a little bit set up, but we're going to have it as surprised, and then I'm going to go in here. I'm going to find ears test. There we go. I have it set to that. And that should be it. So we're going to go VSF. We're going to export. I'm going to export this as a VSF test. I should have a model already named that with the ears because I already tried this once and I messed up. There we go. Now we get to wait for it to finish, and then I'll switch over to that model and we will go from there. All right, done. Go back over to here, go avatar, select this model because I already imported it. And as you can see, my ears wobble. And then if I do surprised, they bend inwards. And they snap back. I haven't figured out how to have a exiting animation. Probably somebody with more Unity experience can show that off. But yeah, that's how you do it. You can have multiple. So it doesn't just have to be like one expression or whatnot. You can have multiple. Of course, I have my expressions automatic based on my face, but they'll also trigger if you use like hotkeys or whatnot. And yeah, there's only one issue with doing it this way, is that sometimes the animation takes precedence over the springbone, and for that you just have to reload your avatar. You can either switch off another one or close VC face and reopen it. But yeah, there's that. So you got floppy spring ear bones and animations. Hope that was helpful to some. Enjoy.